Hello beautiful souls, I'm Mommy on a Journey and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time coming across this channel, welcome and thank you for stopping by. If you're interested in personal development, healthy plant-based eating or just anything in between, do stick around and subscribe because that's what this channel is all about. So today we're talking about managing emotions and your thoughts through journaling, and towards the end I'll show you examples of how I do that. So stay tuned and I'll see you after the ad break. Okay guys, there are no ads, but help us out with our hustle and subscribe to the channel and share it so that I can get there. But anyway, let's just start. So I've realized that your success stems from you. So meaning in order for me to be successful, I need to make sure that I check myself, I fix myself, and that I am well and good, so that when I pursue anything and I want it to be successful, that the foundation, which is now me, is stable and what I'm trying to build won't just fall. So this is how my self-discovery journey started. So most of the time, I would just be mindful of my thoughts, my behavior, my emotions, and make mental notes and move on. And I didn't realize how flawed this was because there's no sense of accountability. Most of the time we forget. We just tell ourselves, I'll remember, I'm aware of it, but we end up forgetting anyway. So I decided to journal because I was at a virtual women's conference hosted by Women's United, and the founder, Mamko, decided to talk about journaling. I've tried journaling before, but it never really worked out for me, but something about this moment made me reconsider it. So the first time I tried to journal, I was in primary school, and at that time it was Dear Diary, and there was this hype around writing and keeping a journal, and you'd often see it in movies, and I decided to keep a diary of my daily experiences, which really didn't work out because I had no specific goal. I just wanted to write daily experiences, and that didn't work also because I didn't feel like writing on other days, and other days I just felt like there's nothing to write about. So now I have an aim, which is to know myself better, understand myself a bit more. So I've decided to start journaling my thoughts, emotions, ideas, and memories. So what I've decided to do is to buy a plain manuscript book, as you can see. So on the first page, I wrote down the aim, and each time I make an entry, I write down the date and the time, so that months or even years later, I can see when and how my thoughts evolved over time. So what I've been doing is that I've been keeping this book near me most of the time so that I can just jot down quickly the idea that I want to break down and understand. So I've realized that most of my thoughts happen when I'm in the shower or when I'm doing dishes. And in the shower it's kind of tricky because I can't really take my book with me and jot down ideas in there. So what I do is take mental notes, then when I step out, I'll write it down, or I'll dedicate a time later to just journaling about the thoughts I had during the day. So when I'm doing dishes, it's easy for me to have the book nearby, and when I have a thought that I like to take note of and break down, I just write it down. So let me take you through a typical entry. Usually if I'm busy with the dishes, I would just write down what made me want to note that thought. For example, you're delaying posting lately, why? Firstly, before I continue, I have to tell you that my first entry was in first person. For example, I this and I that. And that just seemed too intense and confrontational, and I knew this could potentially hinder future entries. So I decided to write in second person, which is more like you this and you that and you're this and you're that. And that was much easier for me. So after jotting down that thought, I continue with the dishes, and then later on when I have time to myself, I'll complete the entry. So how that will work is that I get comfortable and I grab my book, and then I'll remember, okay, I wrote, you've been delaying post lately, there's something more to that, right? Then later, I would have maybe a list of reasons why I think that. For example, you don't know what to post, you're worried about how what you think will be received, you're worried about criticism. Then after, I would discuss what I feel is the reason. For example, you hate feeling vulnerable because ... Where all of this comes from, that would be a typical entry for me. So there are other entries where I just write a small paragraph and that's that. It can be just a small thought or a small idea or just a quick memory, and there's no explanation, no reason, I just leave it as that. And other entries, I don't even write the thought. I just say, hey, you had this thought. You had a certain thought and you don't want to write it down because you don't want to admit to that thought, or you don't want to face that thought, so you're not writing about it, but I just had to make a mental note, and that's that. You understand? So there's no clear-cut way to journal. You just journal what you feel is helpful to you and what's right to you. So basically, what I've been doing has been working for me, and now I'm more aware of what goes on in my mind. I'm more aware of my thought processes and what my triggers are, and a lot of other things that it's been helping me with. And I've realized that most of the time, the things we have in our mind make sense, but when you write them down, they don't make so much sense anymore. And it kind of shows you that our mind has its own type of reality, and once we let that out, you get to see that actually, man, this is why things are not working out, this is why this and that. So this has been very, very beneficial for me, and I've done my fair share of research in journaling. I tried to check articles, videos, and a lot of stuff about journaling, and it never really resonated with me, and it never worked for me. So I just scratched all of that, and I decided to create my own method, and finally journaling is working for me. So what you need to do is just have an aim for why you want to journal and what is it that you're trying to achieve, and that way it will be easy. For example, I also have a YouTube journal. I have a YouTube journal and my small journal. Here I just write about my YouTube ideas. I write about anything YouTube related that I want, whether it's recipes or future ideas or a lot of my YouTube stuff I just write in here. And that's just to show that you don't have to just write about your thoughts or emotion. It can just be a place where you just jot down ideas, or you think, okay, you have a business idea, jot it down and play around with it in your book. So there's a lot of many ways to journal. There's a lot of reasons why to journal. So think of what works for you and what you want to achieve and how it will help you, and you're good to go. You saved. And yeah, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video finds you well. I hope that you enjoyed it. So please comment down below and tell me the ideas you have of journaling, what you would like to try and what you would like to achieve. So yes, guys, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I love you guys. Take care.